Alrighty, welcome everyone, and we today are looking at the notice of balance adjustments that was posted on the 1st of the month, and I know we're a little late to, discuss what was changed, but I still think it's important to go back and review it because there's still a lot of people that don't really know what the deal is with the game and who to use and whatnot. I keep coming up against players who are using old meta tactics, and I keep seeing posts in the Facebook groups and on Discords about old meta tactics, so I'm making this video to read through all of the changes that came with this season, and we're going to go over what units are good and what aren't and who you should be putting in your deck. So we're just going to jump right into it. No cuts, no break, we're just going straight through and reading it. So yeah, let's get it going. So 8/1 Pacific Standard Time, additional notice, thank you for playing the battle line. They changed an error on this sheet that said the M-Baw got a nerf or a buff, and that it was actually the base, and this was a unit that we were confused on in the Discord, so good to see that they clarified it. First of all, they're talking about the bugs, blah blah blah, or not the bugs, the buffs. Okay, so here's the first section. Purpose of the correctments. Currently, there is a large difference in parameters depending on the level of the battle pieces, resulting in balance that tends to favor players with a higher level. Still is the case, by the way. As a result, it has been difficult to take advantage of 4-star pieces, and so this is talking about how the 4-stars were really weak in the previous 2 seasons. The benefits of the level were to be strong, blah blah blah, however the settings. Okay, so this is just talking about how all the units have been buffed and all the 4-stars have been buffed to adjust to make everything usable in some degree or another. Due to the high cost of 4-star battle pieces, it has become difficult to put them on the field. Okay, so this just goes back to what we talked about. They're making things easier to use. Following is a summary to the parameters. The initial parameters of 4 and 3-star battle pieces have been raised to make it easier for them to play an active role after they are acquired. For battle pieces that can be set as leaders, we have raised the parameters of low-level leaders even higher, so that they can be active as leaders even at low levels. Some of the recovery effects have been fixed to eliminate the situation where certain battle pieces cannot be defeated due to a large amount of HP recovery, Mothra. In order to make the most of the map, we have reviewed the parameters of water resistance for many units. Okay. So now we're talking about the main buffs, now that we have like a basic synopsis of what's going on. Gigan, increased movement speed and weight in watery areas, allowing for quicker invasion and wading through water opponents in many situations. Increased attack power, lowered cost of special moves for leader. Gigan is pretty good right now. A lot of people are running Gigan, even without using like Biollante to buff him in the water. Gigan is a strong unit, very strong unit. Biollante, flower beast form cost reduced, excellent. Evolution time has been shortened, awesome. Biollante, plant beast form, cost has been reduced, increased movement speed in watery areas, increased the range of normal attacks, increased the range of special moves for the leader. Biollante cost reduction is alright. It's pretty good so that we can have her at a lower level, but she's not really seeing a lot of play because her damage is not, comparable to a lot of the others. She's a solid leader though, so if you want to use her as a leader, go for it, but as a unit on the field, I don't recommend it. Mothra Imago stage, the recovery amount of special move for a leader was too high, it has been lowered. So Mothra leaders don't exist anymore currently in the meta that I've seen. Now that their healing it went from 10%, now it's 4%, I believe. The Mothra healing as a leader is just not what it was, so she isn't doing too good right now, but she's an amazing unit on the field with the 4-star buff. She's very strong on the field, so drop Mothra as your leader and add her to your deck because yeah, her evolution time is a little long, it's 30 seconds, but she's very powerful and she's low cost. So once you get her to evolve, you'll have a 4-star unit that's really powerful. Hetera mature stage, raise the cost. Okay, the cost was raised, so now the flying stage is 3 cost, and when he evolves, he becomes a 4 cost, and he gets a buff. The 3 stars all got buffed, so he has a buff. Hetera, I still think is a very strong unit. If you don't have a lot of options for 3 and 4 stars, you can use Hetera. He's fine, and he can do anti-air, which is strong. However, there are other units that you probably wouldn't want to slot in. I don't believe Hetera is as useful in this current meta as he was last season, but he is still a solid pick. Even if you have him leveled up high, go for it. Mine is level 21, and I still use him. Manila. Costs were lowered. The cost of the unit has been lowered to match its strength and attack power. Excellent. Range of normal attack has been lengthened to make it more effective at attacking from a distance. Manila has been seeing a ton of play in a lot of decks. A high level Manila, like a level 20 Manila, rolls your flying units, and the stun is really good. So Manila is actually this season, like I'm not even joking, worth putting into your deck. Kamacuras, the damage value and attack speed were too high, so the attack interval has been lengthened. So it just takes them a little bit longer to attack, but honestly, you're not really using Kamacuras to do damage. You're using them basically to stop other units from coming in, like King Caesar, you know, or Gigan, like just to body block someone while your main units do all the work. So not too big of a deal on Kamacuras right there, but something to keep in mind. Kamacuras Swarm, damage value and attack speed were too high, so the attack interval has been lengthened. Same thing with Kamacuras. Kamacuras Swarm is just basically used to be body blocking. You're not really using them to attack anymore. That was a Season 1 meta, not really Season 2 and not going to be Season 3. I do believe, though, Kamacuras Swarm deserves to have maybe their energy lowered by 1 now to go back to what it was when we started, but whatever. You're basically just using the 2 Kamacuras to body block, so it's not a big deal. King Ghidorah lowered the cost from 8 to 6, huge, and increased the range of his normal attack. And the buff from the 4 stars, King Ghidorah is god tier this season. They really took King Ghidorah out of the trash can and put him straight on the pedestal. Probably the best solo unit in the game currently is King Ghidorah, and a close second is Godzilla Ultima. King Ghidorah, if you have him at level 3 or higher, put him in your deck. Put him right in. Every single deck I have faced in King of the Monsters tier has a Ghidorah, and if they don't, they lose. Ghidorah has benefited the most from this update. Slot Ghidorah in. Such a powerful unit. Megaguirus increased the area of effect of the debuff that activates when it appears. This is whatever. Still decent unit, not seeing too much play. Comparable to Rodan, you know, they have kind of similar stats. One I think is faster, one is more powerful, but I don't know. Megaguirus isn't seeing too much play. I don't think this really matters too much. B2 Spirit Stealth Bomber. B2 Spirit Stealth Bomber attack power was too high, lowered to make it worth the cost. Bomber was not that great last season. Definitely not great now. Bomber is out of the meta. I haven't seen any. Is just too weak, not doing enough damage. Kong's movement speed in watery areas has been increased in respect to his activities at sea, which I think is insanely funny, and I'm pretty sure that's just referencing that he's jumping on boats and stuff in Godzilla vs. Kong, so you know what, you love to see it. Works well with Biollante's leader ability, so keep that in mind. Kong is seeing a lot more play, but not anything too crazy. Here's the M-Bob base we talked about earlier. Increase the speed at which it generates units, lower the cost. If you're using either the M-Bob base or the helicopter base, get them out of your deck because you're just hurting yourself. They're not good. They're not very good right now. And even paired with Mechagodzilla's ability, they're not going to do anything for you at the current state of the game, especially with Ghidorah and Mothra running rampant everywhere. Psychic Chorus. Growth rate of recovery value has been lowered to prevent us from recovering too much. So Psychic Chorus is out of the meta. Psychic Chorus is not healing enough, and there are too many 4 stars putting out crazy damage numbers that this is just not going to matter. Dimension Tide. Increased suction and damage range. The speed at which the battle pieces are sucked in has increased to make it easier to draw them to the center. Doesn't matter. It doesn't do any real damage. All you're doing is just moving pieces closer together. So that could be good paired with King Ghidorah. So you could make use of his huge like wave of range and gravity beams, but it's really not that great. If you're using it with Ghidorah, it could be situationally very good, but it's just not very great. And Mogira, lowered HP and attack power because it was creating too much of a one-sided development. The damage it deals when digging through the ground has been lowered. Mogira has been nerfed into the ground and is not seeing any play anywhere, and if you are using Mogira, you are actively hurting yourself. It sucks that, a lot of people put a lot of unit, credits into him and time into him, but he was just such an unfair advantage, and he's just been absolutely kneecapped, so get Mogira out of there. The details of the adjustments in the environment are new, blah blah blah. Team has been developing the game based on feedback and requests, so there you go. We are planning to add new games features that have been requested. So keep requesting things, guys. All of this feedback and all of the nerfs and buffs that we've gotten are from the devs observing the community and getting feedback from you guys in the inquiry section. So make sure, and on Twitter especially, they're very active on Twitter. So make sure that you are letting the devs know what you want, and if enough people are asking for something similar, maybe it'll happen, or maybe we can get new pieces added to the game. So that's huge to know that they're listening, and I love that they included that in this because that gives me hope that they're going to take this game a lot more seriously. And overall, my rankings for this list, the units that benefited the most were Gigan for sure, Mothra for sure, Manila for sure, King Ghidorah absolutely best unit in the game, and then that's it. So Ghidorah, Manila, Mothra, and Gigan definitely benefited the most from this update, and I am just so excited to be using more units that is not just Mogira sniping, although I am concerned that the meta now is just going to be favoring whales who have like a Ghidorah at level 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. This is just such a healthy meta for lower ranked players where they can basically make use of their whole roster pretty much. So I'm very excited for the state of the game to go forward. I'm a little salty myself because my Ghidorah is only level 3 and I'm getting absolutely rinsed at rank 63. So let me know what you guys think of the meta. I know a lot of people are not enjoying it, and I know a lot of newer players are totally enjoying it. So let me know what you guys think about it. And also be sure to check out my Twitch. We're going to be doing tier lists for the best units in the game, the best leaders in the game, the best maps in the game, and the best unit combos in the game. That's going on tonight on August 3rd, 2021. And if you are in the Godzilla Battle Line Discord, when I go live, there will be a link posted in there. So be sure you're checking that out. And if you're not tuning in on Twitch, both, or I shouldn't really say both, but all of those tier lists will be put onto YouTube at one point or another as full videos for you to watch. So I don't know when those are all going to be put out on YouTube, but all of them are being done on Twitch tonight. So be sure to tune in for that. Thank you so much for watching this whole video. I know it's super long, but I thought it was definitely something that the community needs to know about and something that could give you the edge in battle. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.